When the most dangerous land predator takes on the most dangerous walking tank, it's bound to be an epic brawl. We're talking about the lion versus the polar bear. Let's start things off with the king of the jungle. Now, we all know how fierce lions are. They are highly skilled hunters who can take down prey almost double their size. That's just how powerful these felines are. Lions have incredible bite forces reaching up to 67 psi. This means that if they lock onto something with their jaw, there is no escaping their grip. Lions are fast animals capable of sprinting at up to 45 miles per hour. They also have a high stamina level, meaning that they won't easily get tired during a fight. But perhaps the most terrifying thing about lions is their hunting tactics. When fighting as a group, they work together strategically to isolate and ambush their target. So a lone lion may not be able to bring down a large adult elephant, but when working in a pride, it's a whole other story. To add to this, lions are known to attack enemy prides to expand their territory and hunt more. So, even though lions aren't the biggest cats, they are extremely powerful. Just ask any zebra or wildebeest that has ever been unfortunate enough to cross paths with a hungry lion. And now, for the heavyweight champion of our ring, the polar bear. Polar bears are undoubtedly the largest land predators on Earth. Even though they are technically classified as bears, they are actually closer relatives to wolves and foxes than they are to brown bears or pandas. Polar bears live on ice floes and Arctic coasts, where they mainly feed on seals. Their bodies are designed for survival in harsh conditions. They have 2 layers of fur and a thick layer of blubber under their skin to keep them warm in sub-zero temperatures. But what makes polar bears such formidable opponents is their size and strength. Male polar bears can weigh up to 1,500 pounds, which is almost 3 times heavier than an average lion. Their paws are huge and equipped with rough pads and non-retractable claws, giving them excellent traction on ice. But polar bears don't just rely on their weight to overpower their enemies. They are incredibly agile for their size and are capable of running at speeds of up to 25 miles per hour. They are also excellent swimmers, thanks to their webbed feet, and can easily hold their breath for around 2 minutes while swimming underwater. In fact, polar bears can travel up to 6 miles per hour in water. Now that we've met both contenders, let the battle begin! The lion and the polar bear find themselves in an open space, ready to do battle. Neither of them has ever seen a creature like their opponent before. The lion, being the more experienced hunter, decides to make the first move. It charges towards the polar bear, claws extended, teeth bared, hoping to catch its opponent off guard. However, the polar bear, with its keen sense of smell, detects the approaching lion long before it's within striking distance. The bear swipes at the charging feline with its massive paw, catching the lion off guard. The force of the blow knocks the wind out of the lion, sending it sprawling onto the ground. But the lion, being a quick and agile hunter, manages to get back up on its feet, shaken but not deterred. It circles the polar bear, trying to find an opening to strike. Meanwhile, the polar bear stands its ground, roaring loudly to intimidate its opponent. It knows that its size and weight will be a great advantage in this fight, but it also needs to be aware of the lion's agility and speed. The lion, taking advantage of its agility, darts in and out, trying to land a blow on the polar bear. Its claws rake across the bear's face, drawing blood. The bear roars in pain and anger, but remains calm. It shakes its head to get rid of the blood that's getting in its eyes and takes a moment to assess the situation. It then charges forward, trying to pin the lion down with its massive weight. The lion, nimble and quick, dodges the attack and runs away. The bear, frustrated, gives chase. The chase goes on for some time, the lion leading the bear through the forest. The bear, with its heavy paws, finds it difficult to keep up with the lion. But slowly, the lion begins to tire. It can feel the exhaustion creeping in, making its muscles ache and its breaths become heavier. Realizing that it cannot outrun the polar bear indefinitely, the lion decides to make a stand. The lion turns around, growling fiercely, and prepares to defend itself. The polar bear closes in, its eyes fixed on the lion. The bear swipes at the lion with its paw, but the lion manages to dodge it. The lion retaliates with a bite to the bear's shoulder, but the bear shakes it off. The two animals circle each other, sizing up their opponent. The lion knows that it cannot win a battle of attrition against the polar bear, so it needs to use its agility and speed to its advantage. The bear, on the other hand, knows that its size and weight will be key to overpowering the lion. As the fight progresses, the polar bear becomes increasingly frustrated. It feels the strength in its paws growing with every strike that lands. The lion, however, refuses to back down. It fights with the determination of a true champion. The two animals continue to fight, each determined to win the battle. The lion's agility and speed versus the bear's size and strength. It's a battle between two titans. As the fight continues, the polar bear lands a powerful blow to the lion's chest, sending it crashing to the ground. The bear advances towards the fallen lion, ready to deliver the final blow. But just as it's about to do so, the lion makes a sudden move. It leaps onto the bear's face, sinking its teeth into the bear's nose. The bear roars in pain and tries to shake the lion off, but the lion holds on tight. The bear thrashes around, trying to disorientate the lion, but the lion is persistent. It can sense that the bear is weakening, and it won't let go until the fight is over. Finally, the polar bear collapses to the ground, succumbing to the lion's relentless attack. The lion, exhausted but victorious, lets out a triumphant roar. It has won the battle against the polar bear. But wait, there's a twist in the tale? The polar bear, despite being wounded, manages to get back on its feet. It shakes the lion off and lumbers away into the forest. The lion, surprised by the bear's resilience, hesitates for a moment before giving chase. As the lion follows the bear deeper into the forest, it realizes that this fight has taken a turn it didn't anticipate. The forest is unfamiliar, and the lion is starting to feel the effects of exhaustion and fatigue. The chase continues, but it's clear that the lion's strength is waning. The polar bear, sensing the lion's fatigue, picks up the pace. It moves with surprising swiftness for its size, and the lion struggles to keep up. Finally, the polar bear reaches a clearing and turns around to face the lion. It's a final showdown, a battle to the death. With a mighty roar, the polar bear charges forward. The lion, summoning the last of its strength, meets the charge head on. The two animals collide in a flurry of fur and claws. The polar bear, with its superior size and strength, overpowers the lion. Finally, with a crushing blow, the polar bear knocks the lion to the ground. The lion, defeated, can only watch as the polar bear advances towards it. The polar bear, standing over the fallen lion, lets out a victorious roar that echoes through the forest. The battle is over. The polar bear is the champion. But despite its victory, there is no joy in its heart. The polar bear knows that the fight has taken its toll on both of them. It has lost a lot of blood and is badly injured. With a final glance at the fallen lion, the polar bear lumbers away into the forest. It may have won the battle, but it is the lion, the true king of the jungle, who has won the respect of its opponent. The two animals, battered and exhausted, retreat to their respective corners of the forest. Each is victorious in its own right. Each has proven its strength and resilience. But the question remains, who would win in a rematch? Would the lion be able to outsmart the bear? Or would the bear's size and strength prevail once again? Only time will tell. For now, we can only marvel at the epic battle between the lion and the polar bear. A battle between two titans that will be remembered for all time.